Good.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, hello LFGS. Today we have a pretty interesting match. We have Imperium versus UKN Aurora. And yeah.
How are everyone doing tonight? Yeah, definitely an interesting game going on tonight. I'm excited to see stuff going on. I'm not super familiar with both these teams so far. I know that there has been a game already, but a lot of new names, at least in my personal experience and in the competitive scene. So I'm definitely excited to see all these guys moving. Besides Mr. Mountain Mike, that guy is
Something.
concerning. I'm concerned,
What do you have to
afraid
say?
even.
Uh we have actually not seen UKN Aurora play yet. Actually, their first match was an FF, so they only have a 3-0 listed down because they won.
Yeah,
And Imperium won last week, 3-1 against Kevin Fan Club. I remember watching that on stream, and it was pretty close. I know it was a 3-1, but it was still like good.
good maps. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Sunline getting MVP that match, so I'm definitely excited to see that. If
I
that
definitely
holds
am
up.
very excited to see Sunlight. I watched his gameplay and he's a pretty scary. I have rung for UK and Aurora before, actually,
Hmm.
and I believe Vader is definitely someone to look out for.
Mm-hmm. And while we're waiting, it seems like they just announced the starters. On the side of Imperium, your starters are going to be Gingerbread, Sunline, Dracula, Bad Girl Forever, and DPR. Um, and then UK and Aurora is yet to announce theirs. But I mean, definitely seems like a good roster. Looking at their stats right now on the Team Insights page we have, um, some pretty middle of the pack SRs, but definitely some higher ones in like 3-4 range. So this definitely isn't a team that I would underestimate. Um, so I'm super excited to see if they give a good chance, a good fight, or if uh, Surge is gonna just hold on. Or not
Yeah,
Surge, sorry,
Surge.
Aurora, not Surge.
Aurora.
Surge is a different
Yeah,
team.
definitely different
It's also a
team.
green team. Also a green team.
Well,
I was looking at my little sheet and I had the green teams up.
I see. I see. So easy.
Kill me. I'll say,
Oh,
just
yeah.
off of SR average, which is like, who cares? It doesn't matter that much. Imperium does have the edge.
I believe UK and Aurora was shooting to be inside the plat division based off their
Hmm.
roles right here. Their average P2. But rank is just fake.
It is.
Yeah. Unless you're like hard stuck bronze, you just shouldn't believe in it that much.
I agree.
So, what's that to you? Looks like they're gonna get the order inside a second.
Yep.
Excited to see what map they're gonna pick. I believe we've only seen it once where they haven't picked control as their first.
Yeah, and I imagine that'll keep kind of being the same thing for sure. Like I feel like most teams like to start control, but it's always interesting to see which one we go to. I'll say for this like part of the tournament, it's a pretty interesting map pool. Just there's not a lot of the staples you'd say. So maps like you don't see maps like Lijiang or Kings Row in traditional maps that a lot of teams like will scrim often. So I always find it interesting to watch teams who are playing maps like Samoa or Havana or Parisa, which at least in my experience aren't scrimmed very often.
Yeah, I feel like that's just not something that like you pull out inside of Scrim. Like, let's go to Shambali instead of like
Yeah,
Circuit Royale or something like that.
exactly.
So it's just out of these comfort zones where we had a few. I mean, like we're still kind of new into the tourney, so maybe some teams haven't had like that chance to like really scrim into it. It's only week 2.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
it's just gonna be like if you go to like Parasio and like you're, I promise you, some of these teams just haven't scrimmed Parasio
I bet
at
you most
all.
haven't. If the Parisa team, if anyone's listening, maybe you guys got to be the Parisa team.
I I I I don't want to leak, but I believe Imperium loves Orisa.
Oh, well, maybe we'll see that later tonight.
Hope to. It's a pretty interesting map.
It's definitely an odd one. A lot of dive capability, a lot of anti-dive capability. Oh,
Yeah.
map just got announced.
Yeah,
And
from Imperium.
looking like we're not going to control.
Going to Servasa.
That's definitely an interesting starting map. I mean, honestly, I feel like if I were to go something that's not control as my starting map, it would be Flashpoint. Just because plays is pretty similar in essence, just like constant brawl-esque fights. I think if you're a team who likes to play on the floor, who likes to brawl it out, this is a really good way to get your momentum moving.
I feel like Servasa as well is just like so, like, just like based in. Like, I feel like everybody's gonna pick Servasa, like, just in their head when they think of Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And UKN banning Junkrat Queen off the bat.
Mm.
I believe we did see a little bit of that from Gingerbread last week. So maybe they've been voting.
Yeah, I mean, scouting is always an underrated, underrepresented tool. Sorry. So I mean, if teams are willing to go the extra mile and watch some VODs or do some scouting on scrims and anything, it can make a big difference for sure.
And it looks like Imperium is going to pick the Sym ban as well. And you just don't know what UKN Aurora is going to play. That's like really just the benefits of skipping round one with the FF.
I mean, yeah, that is for sure a concern. You lack the scouting capability, although frankly, I think I have an idea of what one of their DPS is locking.
I have a pretty good idea what one of them is going to play.
So let's see if the JQ might be banned, but the different junker who we might see play on this map. We'll see. We'll definitely see.
We'll just have to see. Looks like we're going to the map pretty soon.
Looks like teams are about to R. So, I mean, it's too early to tell, but just to ask, if you had to put money on a team right now, who we locking in and how many games?
I feel like I'm very confident in Imperium. Their game last week was really good, but I think it still might be like a 3-1, 3-2. It's still going to be pretty close. That's what I believe.
Traveling to Servasa.
I think that's a really good take. I think it's a safe take though. And personally, I don't know, dude. I like to root for an underdog, and I would love to see Aurora take this in 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah.
So if that happens, let's just say I got it in me, okay? And I can see into the future, but as we load up, we got 20 seconds into the map. We'll see how the comps go. I definitely imagine
pre-5 ones.
I definitely imagine we're gonna see some Brawly-esque picks. Maybe Junkrat Queen's banned, and that's always a favorite. I would definitely love to see some Ramatras, some Orisas, Zarya, maybe a Diva. But we'll see in just a second. And as we load in, ooh, okay. So on our blue side, we have Gingerbread on the Mauga and Dracula on the Venture. This is always a combo that I love to run, and I love to have teams that I coach and be on play. It's very consistent and very high octane, which I think is going to be very good for this team. But on our other side, Rager is on Orisa, Invader's on Cassie, which is a lot slower. And with that Junkrat, I mean, anything could happen, right? The only question I must ask is, will Mr. Mountain Mike take perks?
Will he? This is the question everybody's asking.
But it seems like they're rolling to the first fight, and let's see what happens here.
Yeah. Looks like this might be looking for someone here. He can go really fast. Looks like Rager's going on the side. Just bursting down Mike a little bit. Really good engage here if he goes for it. Getting so close. Wow. It's just that. It's just that cast and the Junko able to just burst him down. And that's just 2 kills for Aurora. Sunline does get Mike. Sunline's always good for it, I guess, but that is going to be first cap for Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Mauga here, the other team really wants to poke you out. So if Gingerbread is going to have any success on this character, him and Dracula are going to have to really sink in and just minimize the poke. But let's see what happens in this next fight.
Oh, he gets spewed out of his charge. There, Gingerbread does. and now he just has to chill. But he did get onto point. Looks like Bad Girl and just really takes so much damage there. Without much healing there, and Raging gets 2. It does get a flip point for Imperium here, but looks like they're chasing down Lucio a little bit as well. But I think it's just gonna be get out. Oh, Vader does get Bad Girl, so they might be able to get DPR here.
Yeah, I mean, looking like they're... Ooh, they missed the Q, but, you know, just like the last fight, I would say the other team did a very good job of kiting it. The Mago walked on the point, they gave the space up, even gave Cap a little bit. You know, all that poke, it's really hard for Gingerbread to withstand, so... let's see if they can keep that up, or if Gingerbread's going to push the pedal a little bit here.
Oh, and Mr. Mike is just caught with his pants down, and they're just able to get both Vader and Mike. It does look like Dracula does get soul as well, and that's going to be a flip. They're going to be able to chase down Major. And I have just been told that they did not FF, they just won last round. I'm very sorry. I love when I lie.
Yep, you're lying on the internet. It's free.
Lying on the internet. My fault.
Well, good. Well, I mean, I guess that reiterates that this team is, you know, one to be respected. But as we move into this next fight, you know, we just ripped a Cassidy ult, which was one of the first ults built in the game, and unfortunately got killed. So I'm interested to see how the ults go this fight. We have 2 on each side. Maybe a Kitsune to open this up on either side. And, you know, I think whoever rips this first might win. Ooh, an E from the Orisa.
And the DBO is going to use Gingerbread already extremely low. Punches in out. That is going to be a whistle from Rager, and Rager's falling really low. And Vader gets Dracula. Vader also gets Dracula. And just gets Rager. That's going to be 1 down, and everybody on UKN will so low. And DBO's able to get the shot to Vader there. Just able to keep Gingerbread up here. And that's going to be probably a first point. Unless Mike gets something here, but now we shut down to Soul.
I mean, that was a really great turnaround from the Malga team here. I'll say Mr. Mountain Mike, we gotta play a little slower, brother. You know, we're doing some crazy stuff up here. You know, if we're gonna respect this team, we gotta play as slow as we can, and make sure we poke the Malga as much as we can. But you know, next fight's coming up. We have an early beat going on here and an early venture ult. So you know, I wonder how we're gonna react to this cage as well. Tire coming up, and as these teams about to fight, let's see what ults get ripped and who comes out for the first cap.
Let's see. It looks like Imperium is taking a lot of point presence. UKN can't really walk in that much. They're just looking for someone to shoot, and they just have nobody. And now they're walking with the point is unlocking Gingerbread. Stomping a lot. That's gonna be a lot of ult coming out. Imperium popping the venture and the cage here gets Vader. And Dracula really low, but he's in the ground. And Mike's getting just stomped right now. He does get Dracula's trade, but just gonna be a kill onto Theron there.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Mountain Mike, he got his. All right.
He got his one.
That was a really, really great fight on the side of Imperium. You know, ripping those 2 ults early and see their team just didn't have the time to react. Even, you know, winning through a Lucio beat. And we have a really great ult econ coming up with our 2 other ults. Oh, here's the poke bomb to stick. But a great Suzu. A great Suzu. I mean, we haven't really tired here, so if we can get to a good spot, I'm sure we can get something.
Soul does get Dracula very early. You're able to get UKN to be able to walk up a lot here. Mike might die to Sunlight though. This could be fine, but Mike's still falling really low. And what gets Sunlight? Oh, disgusting from Mike.
Didn't know he had all that in him. I mean, that was an amazing outcome. An amazing outcome for Aurora. Having to use no ults in a fight that we were at an ult disadvantage, and now we still have a defensive tire and an Orisa ult coming up. If we play this a little fast, you know, since they only have beat, sure they're close to Kiri, but there might be a really good chance we come out of this ahead.
It looks like Imperium's going on. They don't see Mike down in the corner. He's on the angle. And Gingerbread's walking in here. Gingerbread does get soul. The tire's still up. Somebody does get Farron. And the tire gets 2. But Gingerbread also gets 2, so it's just gonna be Mike and Sunline. It's gonna be Gingerbread and Sunline versus Mike, and Mike's not gonna be able to do it. Holy tire!
I can't believe we got 2 with that. You know, it took them a long time to get there, but we got his picks, and you know they're coming back. Maybe we have a fast touch here. We have Kitsune and Orisa ult coming up. If we can live long enough, this fight might be doable.
Maybe.
Oh,
it's gonna be a boom off point, but Rachel's able to touch here. use lucky delivery, and Dracula gets Vader. The Kitsu out from a warrior in this case from Gingerbread. Gingerbread gets Rage, Sunlight gets Mike, and Batgirl gets Baron. Looks like it's just gonna be 2-0 for Imperium here. Look at that ults, Christ.
Yeah, an amazing ult econ coming up from the side of Imperium. We have Kitsune, Venture, and Tracer ult as well, so definitely can play really aggressive coming up in this next fight. We have a swap on Vader, going to the Reaper. Maybe be able to help face tank into the Malga a little bit more. We'll see if that applies any front line pressure. And let's see if these ults will do the death of them. This was really first blow.
Looks like they're engaging though. It does waste the Kitsune. It could be a very massive vengeful from Dracula here. Oh, they get so much damage, and yeah, just 3 Rager left here. Yeah, they did use both Pulse and Venture for that, but it pulls out the Suzu early.
Yeah, ripping out both DPS ults. It was costly, but you know, truly accused of a Tracer Pulse Bomb. It's already at 30%. We have a Kitsune to start this next fight, as long as it beats from the other side. So let's see who wins, the attacker or the defender, essentially.
Exactly, but it is a defensive Kitsune, which is probably better than the beat, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely kite with it for sure. And, you know, we're starting to poke early, but looks like the Venture's going in
And
and the
that's
beat
a
comes
very
out.
early beat, and it's a Kitsune from Imperium now. Walking around a bit. And now that that beat's gone, Gingerbread can just walk in. Big slam on 3 there. And Battle gets fair, and Mike gets directly in. That's, yeah. And
Come on, Mr. Mount Mike. Come on, get yours,
go.
buddy. Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
he
he
did.
gets his. And Mr.
And-
Mike always gets his. I mean,
Mike always gets his one.
always gets his one.
Last
Last fight situation coming up.
can you press tab real quick, Marty? Thank
No.
you. Mike has no perks.
Oh my
no
goodness.
perks.
No perks from Mr. Mount Mike.
That's good.
You know, amazing work. But we have the tire coming up for this last fight. It's an early Suzu force. Mr. Mount Mike, wrist the rip tire. Here it comes. Going around the right side. That gets
It
two.
gets 2! But Gingerbread gets Rager very early. It's still variable, winnable fight for him. Give him. Mike gets EPR and they're just burning. Oh, it's just stuck at the soul. It's gonna be Sunline here and Mike. And it looks like there's gonna be cap for Aurora. That's amazing tire.
Amazing, amazing rip tire from Mr. Mount Mike. Ensures that they win this fight. And now they have 3 ultimates. If they can use these smart without ripping them all at the same time, there's a chance that we could have a great ult econ coming into potentially the last point here.
Yeah. Let's see what they try to do.
I'm interested to see how this this blossom comes through. You know, hopefully we don't die a little early, but this Malga's taking a lot of poke. Malga dies!
Beat and Malga steps with beat drops. Mike gets Sunline though, but DPO gets his, and it's Dracula inside backline getting soul. And Baron's falling really low here with Vader. Wait, Kiwi's trade though. Wait, no, Kiwi gets 2. My fault. I hate this spectator bug. It's just gonna be Rager. And now Soul's back for the touch. Not able to do much though. And Mike might be able to get one more. He can, but he might just die here. He does.
First map goes to Imperium.
1-0 Imperium.
I can't believe they flipped that last fight. I mean, you know, a really early death on your Malga, and it was an unfortunate beat due to that. But I mean, they kept the pressure up, and they got the trades, and somehow, you know, miraculously, they turned that around.
And I believe that's been because DPR got 2 that last fight. And amazing tire, and it kills DPR. Mike getting 3 that fight. 4, sorry. I mean,
Love
he
it-
does
love the
get his
Junkrat.
value.
Would love it if we picked some things on the perks end, a little more, but you know,
I'm just saying, I would love our tire to go faster.
and I don't know why I would, frankly, but hey, that's besides the point. You know,
Yeah.
Imperium comes up 1-0, you know, early, and if I'm UKN Aurora, I'm thinking to myself, what are the changes we need to make, especially if we play in another brawl centric map. You know, they clearly like to rush with characters like Venture, with Malga, and if we know they're playing Queen as well. You know, I definitely want to see UK and Aurora pump the brakes a little, and it's always okay to stack a little bit, especially if we're just shooting a tank down like Malga. He's really easy to kill if we can poke him out easy. So if you guys play like you played early, I think there's a really good shot here. But I mean, Imperium's putting the gas on, and you can't blame him for that.
And it looks like Aurora is picking Havana here. Maybe looking to go more of that poke Orisa, or maybe play like a Sigma some sort.
Yeah, definitely interested to see the change in dynamic here. I know Rager's a brawl tank at heart as well, so
I've heard that guy does things on Reinhardt, so we'll have to see. It's gonna be
maybe we
beautiful.
throw Mr. Mountain Mike on the wrecking ball.
Oh, Christ on Havana. Looks like Imperium's gonna swap out the roster, I believe. Yeah. Looks like they're gonna swap in somebody. It is their ban, and they can also choose attack or defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how the changes come through roster wise, and if that shakes things up positively or negatively.
Yeah. They they might be trying to change the tank or something if like Gingerbread doesn't feel confident in like a more poke, less fast play style like the Mauga encourages.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, on both sides, there's a lot of eligibility. Um, especially on the side of Imperium, almost everybody is eligible for every role. Um, tank has 4 players eligible, support as well, and then DPS is 5. So they have a lot of options in the way that they want to run their compositions and when they want the way they want to run their people playing them. I mean, just looking at profiles, I see Dracula as a Doomfist guy, Cuddles as a Diva guy, Sunline as well. So there's a lot of options when it comes to poke and dive and just changing up the way that people want to play.
A lot of changes here. Dracula now on tank over the DPS, and it's still gonna be Sunline on DPS, but Bad Girl from the Lucio to DPS now, and it looks like Frost is going to be subbed in to be a support player, and DPO is still
Hmm.
staying on the other support slots.
I mean, yeah, these interesting changes. I mean, just off of what I know alone, I know a lot of these players like to play kind of fast, kind of divey on the side of Imperium. Um, so I definitely am excited to see if they choose to go that route on this map or pivot back to some traditional poke. I really like keeping DPR in. DPR played amazing last map, really good ults. So that's a good way to pivot and keep your roster pretty similar. I wonder if Aurora will change much or if anything, and if not, the changes they're going to make for their gameplay.
Uh, by the way, Mr. Mountain Mike in the Twitch chat says,
Hmm.
quote, pokes on junk, no aura.
Losing doesn't have much aura either. So,
Okay, meme.
so
Okay.
all I'm saying is, Mr. Mountain Mike, I stand with you, okay? But I want to see what's best for you, and I only have your best intentions in my mind.
All right. Okay. It still is Imperium's ban here.
If you had to ban, who would you ban here, Mental?
If I'm Imperium here, I hikey want to ban the Sigma, and I want to run like a Ramatra or a Zarya, like just fully throw them
Force
off
the
here.
brawl.
Yeah,
I like that.
they're picking defense first. Imperium is.
Mm.
Something about that ban.
I wonder if Mr. Mountain Mike is going to play the Junkrat on this map.
I wonder. It's not too bad on this map, honestly.
It's
You
playable.
can just spam down that like one forward path. Orisa ban from
Risa ban.
Imperium. I
Wasn't
mean,
like in the poke last map. I see.
yeah. I guess they were just really out to just do a lot of poke onto Gingerbread there.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
the
especially
Orisa.
early.
Ashe
Ashe ban.
ban.
Hmm.
Interesting. Maybe they don't want to play poke that much, and they just can't ban a tank anymore, so they just ban the second best thing, I guess.
For sure.
I mean, that always see the Mr. Mountain Mike Widowmaker, which
I've heard tales,
I've
stories through
heard
the grapevine
stories.
of the things that man can do.
Yeah, I saw a scroll with that text on it.
I've read that dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have to see. Looks like we're gonna go in here.
You're going to the map. Definitely excited to see how this paths out. We have Aurora with an early offense. And I think that honestly, like, the offense is going to be everything here. As much as, like, either anything could happen and either team can defend well, I think if Aurora doesn't get a good, strong push here, then it's going to snowball pretty hard. Not just for the rest of this map, but for the rest of the series.
Yeah, it just feels bad if like you're already 1-0, and then you just don't push that far inside of attack. It's just a real mental debuff.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it would just be the final nail in the coffin, you could say. But you know, I'm rooting for the boys, but
I'm rooting for the boys at home. UKN Aurora, but we'll have to see.
Man, this map's pretty. It's just a beautiful night.
It is a nice night.
Ready.
All right, the team comps come through. Looks like my squad over on Imperium is gonna pivot to a traditional poke comp, even running double hit scan characters. Interesting to see that, and I wonder if that's why the change to Dracula came in, to allow him to play Sigma while also giving 2 hit scans a chance to just poke it out. You know, real traditional, real staple. And then over on the side of Aurora, we're getting a little wacky. Ramontra, you know, Brig on a poke map like this, I'm not sure how they're going to handle, but, you know, if they can get in, then it'll cause a lot of terror. And, you know, Sojourn's really great here. And I'm interested to see if Mr. Mike can get his in. Or if he'll struggle a little bit into this heavy poke.
What to see, it's gonna be really hard for Mike to get some value. They're just a player constantly shooting down on him.
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel looking for that.
Great shield. No, it's a good shield. He needed that.
Beyond Ram. Okay. Looks like all they can do is just push the guard a little bit. And
For sure.
wait to play full on to the Sig here. Sig is shielding his own high, which is a good move.
Railgun
We'll have to
charge
see.
holding.
Looks like Rachel might be looking for something now. And
Yeah, I mean, Bad Girl Forever is just sitting here and poking on main and is getting a lot of damage out, similar to Sunline. So these are really good angles that we have established, and I'm interested to see if anything is going to break through this. As they're starting to kite pretty early though, so we'll see.
oh, and Mike gets bad goals.
He gets his one.
He does get his buddy. He always gets his one. You see,
always
somebody
does.
does miss 2 shots there, and now Rachel can probably walk a little bit here. It still is a Zen, and there's a bolt on the Vader there. I think that kills last patch, by the way. And now Rachel's forming onto the Sigma. He does get rocked. Rachel falling really low, and that Discord is just no joke there. And it looks like someone gets fair. And this will be a
Discord and rock on Ramontra it hurts for sure. So you know, if they can keep their patience up, I definitely think that, you know,
where's my mic at?
Dracula and his squad. Oh my, he didn't get his one.
A bit of a stagger there, but it's not gonna
He'll come back.
too much.
He'll come back.
And get his one.
His one will come. Looks like the other team's just starting to poke again. You know, pretty similar spot that we've gotten to, but you know, if they can break through on this rotation that it seems to be making.
Yeah, they're making rotations. They might try to speed up onto the high there. Wager is really low already, taking a lot of poke damage. But now it looks like Sunlight gets Vader down main. And Wager inside a small little room there. Mike falling low already. It's gonna be very hard for them to get out of this small room they've let themselves in without a Juno speed ring.
Well, if I'm being honest, I'm sending Mr. Mike up there with a double and seeing if he can cause some terror.
He'll do something, all right.
There's not a lot going on here, and if we just sit here on the low ground forever, they're just gonna poke us down. You know, Rager falls low already. There goes Mike.
And Rager gets his one, but it's not be that good.
It's an early mortality
really low. And Dracula gets Vader. It's still maybe winnable for a while. Probably not. Their Soldier's back pretty soon.
Well, we have a lot of ults on both sides coming up. We have a Sigma ult and a Zenyatta ult, as well as a Sojourn and Bap trailing very closely behind. But I mean, Mr. Mike Mac has the tire. And frankly, you might want to rip it real soon.
Like right now, honestly,
There's a lot of people in that little room. There's the social. Like, come on, Mike.
Come on, Mike, let's do it. He's gonna get poked by Dracula a lot here. Going in now.
Come on, Michael.
Come on. Let's see it, Mike.
Here it comes.
Okay,
Here it
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There's the ammo.
And
Baps one.
Full slip.
Bad Girl Forever gets one early.
Does get Farron. And
Oh,
Rachel gets
but trades out.
bad girl, yeah. It's still winnable. They are up one, I believe.
It's, yeah, we're even, but you know, ultimates are looking really similar on both sides. They're kiting, they're giving a lot of space here. Let's see how this signal
come
might
back in.
flash out in just a moment. I'm sure they're gonna retouch with this coming on.
Window from DPR here. He's
Straight under the brig.
We're gonna fall through though. That is a
Real flow.
From Big falling extreme though. Is able to use the window there. Rager falling is really low, so in this quarter. Vader does get bad girl. Mike does get Frost. And this we get Juno from Farron here. And trying to keep Vader up here. And
Vader goes
Mike
in.
gets
Mike
sunlight.
gets
Mike
no,
Mike
he's rocked.
gets rocked. And
Wake up.
Farron tapping out.
Wake up, Baron.
What the fuck? And just trying to keep touching, keep Vader alive, so he's gonna get bad girl.
Rachel,
Vader
right,
back
right,
on the
right.
Reinhardt. Hitting
Boom.
it. Oh, this hit the pin. Just getting rocked there.
He can swing on Dracula here.
He's just
Chunking him real low. Forces the ammo.
And Vader just gets DPR.
Really low.
Freaking really low. Gets Frost instead. There's a
Vader gets two. Three.
Get it. Vader gets 3. He's just swinging there.
Now that Reinhardt swap, if you ask me, won that fight. You know, once Rager was in a high octane, intense situation, nobody knew what to do against them. So I wouldn't be surprised if, especially for the second close range point, that Rager might keep it going on the Reinhardt. We also have a swap to Kiri Lucio on the side of Aurora, pivoting to a more traditional brawl, which I think will actually do them a lot better, especially if they're running the Junkrat. If they can get in, they might be able to just tear apart.
Hey, it looks like Rager's fucking in. On to DPR, forces land, Rager's really low, but just
Explodes.
man. It's just a gas. And Dago gets stolen. Looks like they're just have to get out there for Aurora.
Yeah, it's
Huddling
definitely a
inside the corner
really
with
hard
Mike
team.
here.
Maybe a little midnight smooch in the corner.
Exactly, with the bullet attached.
He's dead.
And DPR gets Mike. Dude, very hard here. And Rager just loses all his armor insta, by the way. Like,
Less than a minute 30 left on the clock. We have a Shatter and an OC coming up, meeting a Freya ult, a Sigma ult, and a Baptiste ult. If we can get a huge Shatter here, that might turn the tide for the rest of them.
I want to see a huge Shatter here, man. I just want to see a big down, man. Vader
Here it
gets
comes.
sunlight. Use it.
It,
Dang!
it.
Oh,
He
and,
got his.
and Rager gets DPR, Backo gets Soul, and Backo also gets Rager. So, I think
I mean,
it's,
both teams are down too.
yeah, both teams are down too, but Imperium still has their Dracula.
That girl falls low really early. Flashes
Flash
their own
Dracula.
Sigma. Her own
I get
Sigma,
it.
sorry.
And Dracula half HP here. All of them are back for Aurora. Rager up on the top there. Look at
OC on the
it.
Zen.
OC on the
Zen
top,
falls.
nice. Look at Frost.
Big
And Mike gets one.
dire.
Dire. Massive dire always. Oh my god. No, get
Ew.
disgusting. Dracula gets failed on points. And it's just gonna be Mike left here.
How's he always end up in that situation?
How does he always end up randomly there? Genuinely.
Final fight situation coming in, so we got 2 ults to 1. You know, Big Kitsune can let a Reinhardt do a lot, but against double support ults, I'm not entirely sure.
Touch the point here, and there's a Kitsu from Farron. And DP on the angle here, and Bagel just gets sold. He's gonna pop the window here, doing big damage on the Legion. And Mike on the
Here he is.
DPR here, but Mike caught it really low already. And
amazing
Vader
battle.
does get his one on Bad Girl. But it's just a really good battle. He's able to really just get Sunlight a lot of damage there.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, even DPR himself barely did any healing. Just got to rip the damage through it and tear it apart. So that was an amazing battle on the off angle, and really happy to see that against the Brawl team. We pushed about halfway through the map, so Aurora has it in form for a pretty hard defense, but it's definitely doable. You know, Junkrat, you know, especially if we spawn hold here, that can be pretty scary.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think a spawn hole will be very cool.
You know, if I'm on the side of Aurora and in this squad, I definitely think that's something I would force is a spawn hold. We want to sink as much time as possible as we can out of them during their attacks so that we have a chance. Very interesting picks that we pull out early. Dracula onto the Doomfist, which, you know, he's known to like, as well as Bad Girl Forever on the Genji, which is a very, very big difference than the double hit scan that we were running prior. I'm definitely just interested to see if the Doomfist is capable of getting in and doing work on this map, this long form range map, especially against Mr. Mountain Mike, Vader, and Rager, who are amazing with their burst damage and just disruption. But if Dracula can get a impactful punch, a great slam out of the backline, I definitely think he'll be able to do a lot. Looks like we're not going for the spawn hold, by the way. We're playing some traditional poke out here. So the other team will be able to walk out for free.
Definitely on Doomfist. Alrighty, let's see what happens here. We saw Doomfist last week on this point.
Maybe it's the secret meta, and I just don't know.
Maybe it is. The last team did get full held.
No. I'll be running that in my my scrims next time for sure.
They were the one getting full held, but alright. And Mike getting some pokes down here. Mike half HP already, and just do some big packs. I don't really know what this big can do. Genji is on the right now. And it's just get soul there. It's amazing follow from Sunline on that engage from Paco.
Yeah, definitely a hard engage from Soul there. You know, played really well into the Genji, but then once that Fray Bolt came in, it was undoable. And Mr. Mike tries to avenge, but doesn't get his one. You know, and as we kite and reset, I'm not even sure if they're going to get a really great touch here. No, they gave a lot of space by not playing early.
It was really hard, maybe getting evaded here, and Bagel engaging really low, and
that's a
just get it, and Rachel walking down.
Two great kills open.
Good kills there to really just get back on the point here. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we got really lucky there. You know, unfortunately, the enemy team's Genji just died down main, and so did Lucio. So Aurora gets to live another fight on this point. Seems like Mountain Mike's doing some consideration on a roll or something. First ult has been built of the round. We have a Frey ult from Sunlight. Really interested to see how this comes through. An impactful one, you know, a good hit onto the back line, or even just the Junkrat. Could definitely get an early pick, which could, you know, decide the fight as early as possible. Dropping down to 100 health, though. Oh, bitter cut. You know, continuing to fight, they get really early kills. Frost on a Soul, Dracula on a Baron. And then there drops Mr. Mike. The other team, Imperium, had to do 0 ultimates that entire fight, which allows them to just steamroll harder on this next point. And if these late kills, starting with the Freya Bolt, getting his punch, but he dies early. Soul's in, on Bad Girl Forever. Bad Girl Forever gets Soul. Onto the Juno now, half health. Dropped really low, dies to Sunline as Sunline catches the Ramattra ult, is dead to the Ramattra ult. Yeah, that's a really tough ult for Rager out to pop there, just for a chance of living. Only for 1 kill and having to reset the fight now.
Yeah, this is really bad, and Mike popping the tire here and gets 2. Mike always gets something.
He always gets his 1, and that time he got his 2. And honestly, that gives us the touch we need to hold this.
It does. Mike getting
There's 3.
Will we seal for it? I don't think so, but we never know with that guy.
He's an enigma.
He is.
You can never be
coached
sure.
up on the counters, going for a flank maybe. To try and get something here.
Yeah.
Other team just stepping up a little more. We have an OC, a Juno, and a Burrito. An early kill for Beta. That's an amazing beam.
Nice.
Yeah, we gotta tab back in, put the headphones on that one.
Looks
like the first
music. Mike gets
yeah. I was capable of that.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's just a fight. That saved us a lot of time, built us a little more ult charge, and gave us a chance to maybe see something else going on. On the side of Imperium, we have 4 ults coming up, including a Kitsune Blade. You know, that's terrifying. You know, there's an early beat. We're gonna have to kite this really hard. Let's see what we do.
But Slade gets Mike on the side here, and we did a Rage
Judo Jax.
And Dracula does get paid here. His ult still like a soul. This is my Rage on the point.
Oh, it looks like they fall. You know, yeah, and they're put in a really hard spot there with the amount of ults that Imperium had coming into that fight. Unfortunately, just a couple late reactions led us to the loss there.
It's just so incredibly hard to play into those 4 ultimates, all being really good ults.
Mhm. Well, I mean, Imperium's playing amazing as well.
Play
I can't,
of the
you know,
game.
overgo on that. You know, Big Girl Forever did amazing work on the Genji. And I'm still really excited to see how they support some tanks playing as well. The Doomfist on attack was very interesting and very fun to watch. A lot of really great engages that are very impactful, especially like an ult there on Vader to secure that kill. Now, up 2-0, you know, Imperium might have something to prove here. You know, a good old 3-0 sweep is always good for the scorecard. And so I wonder what map we're gonna go to, and I wonder how they're gonna push for that. You know, Mental, if you're in the coaching room for UKN Aurora, what are we saying to the team right now? Yeah, good call. That's chill. Well, I mean, I know not to answer my own question, but you know, I definitely think that we got to find a way to come together as a core and make sure we're playing, you know, as a team and looking at the same things together, always on the same track, and make sure we're taking a little more progressive angles. And I think Aurora, you know, down 0-2, it's easy to get discouraged and get a little afraid, but you know, something, you know, you want to push in. You know, you let Mr. Mountain Mike cook, let Rager cook, let your guys play the game and get in there and do what needs to be done. Playing so timid and passive, especially when you're playing on a poke map like that against crazy dive, you know, you just don't have the time to. So I mean, maybe we just build a core and give the Junkrat his money and let him play a little bit. But you know, as we get here and ready up and wait for map picks and hero bans, we'll definitely see what else is to be done. On the side of Imperium, we might get some extra player swaps, though that is yet to be stated. DPR personally, I think has been playing amazing so far. A really, really, really great showing, especially in the ultimate range. DPR is taking some really good ultimate spots and some really good off angles with DPS and stuff. And then, you know, so far hasn't had any super crazy deaths or errors that have had a major impact. Looking at my stat sheet here as well, just, you know, pointed out, DPR is the lowest ranked player on the entire team by a margin, but is still playing at such a high level and is impressing me very, very much. So it definitely goes to show that, like, you know, anyone out here in the plat gold range even, don't get discouraged because, you know, you can be a player like this and playing to your heart out and get it done, frankly. We have a
Just
lot of players in this tournament who are on a yeah, of course, of course. So unless it's stated in your rules in particularly, that is actually how it usually goes. It goes map pick, hero ban, and then roster lock. So you let them pick the map, then they'll ban their hero, and then they'll tell you what characters go next. Or not characters, what players come in, of course.
um
Welcome back,
yeah,
Mental.
sigh.
It's okay, I did.
My shit crashed for a minute.
Don't know all of me.
What by the we're having terrible storms right now.
And you know, just like how Imperium's just putting a storm down on UKN Aurora, but
Okay.
some would say this is the calm. And Mr. Mountain Mike might be the storm. So maybe there's a reverse sweep in front of us. Time will tell.
I am never sad about a reverse sweep. It is always fun to see. I think if you're on Imperium, it might be sad to see, but you know.
I mean, no one loves to be on the receiving end of one, for sure. It's one of the saddest things that can happen to a man.
Exactly. It's gonna be Esperanza pick from Imperium.
Yeah, definitely interested to see how this one goes through it. A map that gives itself to a lot of different compositions. You can play dive, you can play poke, you can play brawl. They're interested to see how they push it through. And
I,
then
f I
also
f
like what players they have in, because I think that'll set the stone on the characters they play. Early Tracer ban.
Tracer ban for Major. I mean, Sunline was getting it done on the Tracer the first map, but especially on like a push map, Tracer just gets so much value. But like with the nerf and everything, we might just not have even seen Tracer in
Yeah, I
general.
mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, Sunline's been definitely liking the Tracer a lot so far, playing it whenever possible, whenever playable. I'll say early on Suravasa, the pulse bombs were sticking. You know,
Oh, they
a
were.
lot of the times that Asuzu was met there, but
I mean, once he sticks the target, it's
it's
all he can
forced,
do.
and that's value,
Exactly.
and that's value. An early
It's,
pulse bomb for an early Suzu is worth, in my opinion.
it's so much value. It looks like Gingerbread's now gonna be on tank. Sunline Bad Girl on DPS, staying that, and Frost and
Hmm.
DPS supports. So just gonna be a
Yeah,
switch for tank here.
and I think that swapping out the tank here is a really good pick. You know, we've seen that Gingerbread likes to play the high octane Mauga, Junker Queen, stuff like that. And especially once we're up in the count 2-0, allowing ourselves to play really fast and get messy and get in Aurora's face, and a team that's already maybe a little scared, a little sweaty, a little anxious, making it so they don't know what to do, and putting the pressure on them might just be the right pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can run a very fast composition here, and like you just gotta feel good if you're Imperium here. It's 2-0. You can maybe even like do some crazy stuff.
Definitely interested to see what Aurora rolls out on. If they keep the Junkrat going, then what tanks we might lock. You know, we've seen a lot of brawl so far on their side with characters like Orisa and characters like Ramatra. But I think if they're going to play against a team like Imperium, who we know wants to play fast with them, who wants to brawl it out, um, you know, putting the effort in to maybe play some dive and take some angles and make it a little hard for Imperium to get on an entire core might be something that's in their favor. But
I would
we'll for
love
sure
to see
see.
like a Winston or a Diva maybe, like go like bit of a dive.
Yeah, I hear Winston Junkrat is actually meta in Korea. That's what I've been hearing through the grapevine.
I think the grapevine might be sour, but we'll have to see.
Hey, it turns into wine, right?
Inside of the Twitch chat, we have some comms here from Ninja589. I sold Sunlight Fent.
Uh,
Might be
hey,
true thing.
I mean, gotta be why they're playing with such high auxiliary gameplay.
Exactly. The
Definitely
way that guy is just moving with so much
can't be
passion.
natty. That guy cannot be natural. Do
Looks
we
like
have a
Imperium's
ban
banning
on
the Reinhardt.
performance enhancing drugs here?
Uh, I do not think that's inside the rule book. We might have to add it after this match.
Yeah, definitely, definitely something we might have to consider.
We will have to look into that. We're gonna we're, we're, we're gonna have to we're require a blood test now to dive this tournament.
We gotta start making you pee in the cup, Sunline.
Exactly. Can you send us your virtual P? We'll figure it out.
You're right, dude. Maybe that's asking too much.
Yeah. We can't even get this guy to win 5 games. So, all right, we're going into the map now.
Yeah, going to this map, I can never trust the early picks, but I mean, all right, DPR,
Oh,
DPR's a winner. Never mind.
Yeah.
I actually would love to see that pick come through.
Yeah, I'd love to see Widowmaker on Esperanza. We love that. Let's see here.
Yeah, 25
Maybe-
seconds coming in.
Yeah,
It's a
I'd
push
love
map. This could be a quick one, a decisive win.
it. Good. We might see a very short one, like 2-minute push map. That feels maybe possible, but you never want that.
I mean, seeing a 2-minute push would honestly be the worst outcome, in my opinion. But
Ready for
you know, if you're on the attacking side, if you are Imperium, I mean, that's the best thing you could hope for. And early on, I see some amazing stuff. I'm seeing Junker Queen Vendetta, and if you know me, you know that I love Vendetta.
He loves
think
his vendetta.
I think if teams are capable of playing it mechanically and game sense wise, and you can pull it out, you're automatically at advantage. I'll say Rager, Mr. Mountain Mike, Vader, Soul, Farron, playing things that are comfortable with them. We've seen the Orisa, the Junkrat, and all this other stuff, and we know that it's something they like to play. So maybe it's time to sink in. Maybe it's time to lock in, and as we see Bad Girl Forever on the Vendetta, something that maybe we're not so comfortable on, might be time to take advantage of it.
It's a very It's a big flank from Aurora here, flipping the map almost. Really, and really just pummeling to Rage here. No gold anymore. Rage is falling really low, and Badger already getting stalled. This hero is balanced. It's something like getting Rage here, just really able to pump damage onto him. I think this is gonna be another first fight one for Imperium.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely say stacking like that in that hallway, you know, maybe it works in the streams a lot of the time, but against a Vendetta, you can't do that. This character wants to come into your backline, tear you apart one by one.
Oh, look at Sunlight against
all
Vader.
at the same time.
Really
Forces
forcing
him
that
out.
guy out. Yeah. And
wins the
now
duel.
Ranger on the side.
Forces Suzu too.
Yo, look at Mike.
Time to get his one. Mr. Mountain
gonna
Mike
get
is
his
on
one.
the flank.
He's on his flank. There's a lot of them up top there from they're dropping down now on the point. Maybe they get checkpoint from the fight even starts.
Looks like Mike is still staying patient too. You know,
Yes.
we've established some angles, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the Lucio falls
low.
low. Frost drops.
Watch those drop really just got him there. I don't know how. And Vader
No.
falling really low, but Vader gets bad goals. It's 3-4 now. Drops in their back line. Like
Uh-oh.
falling low.
See, a bit of a early swap for Rager onto the Zarya, a character that maybe will allow him to play a little more aggressively with his bubbles, while also living at the same time. So, maybe we can wall up the Queen, help out against
Like
that Vendetta a little
dropping
bit.
down.
Uh-oh,
And-
missed the
oh.
conk.
We
It's
do
a
hit
trap,
our head.
though.
And Bad Girl gets Vader. It is a 3 OC from Sunline. I don't think it's gonna get much.
Recharging.
They just really
Railgun
carried back.
charged.
Mike doesn't have time.
With that ult out from Sunline, that actually puts Aurora at the ult advantage. So, you know, we haven't really tired early Kitsu. Let's see if Mr. Mountain Mike can do what he's been doing well. Get a couple picks with this. And allow Aurora to get that comeback, you know. Dropping really early on Rager, though. He dies!
Wade just taking so much poke.
Uh-oh.
Bad Girl whoa.
Gotta-
Gets
Definitely gotta put that in the montage.
And Gingerbread gets Mike. And it's just gonna be, yeah, it's just gonna be very. They were just gonna go really fast here. Warriors, they do have 2 ults on up, but and they are speeding onto them there, and it's gonna be Kitsu early from Farron.
Very good
You
for
just have to
Kitsu.
get some point pressure here.
Are we gonna kite? Well, looks like we are kiting, but the Queen still
Gingerbread's so
drops.
low. It's like OC from Vader here. And Ranger gets 2. And Mike always gets his 1.
You guys
Right.
won.
And now we push it the other way after a pretty good fight from Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, 2 ults ain't too bad. You know, we have a Graviton Surge coming up, which is always very impactful, as well as a beat that gives us a little bit more time to play. On the other side for Imperium, we have 4 ults about to be online. You know, 3 already, and then a Vendetta ult coming up. And those are very lethal ults from the Junkrat POTG and the Vega. So, you know, if we don't play this really tight on the side of Imperium, or on the side of Aurora, it might be really scary with the ults that come out.
Yeah, it looks like Gingerbread's looking for something here. It's gonna be very hard to get his ult off with that many
There's a grab!
Oh, there's a massive grab. Hits 3.
Frosted!
Lot damage
Frosted
coming out.
Jaxes!
Frost does Ajax by Mr. Mountain Mike. But Sunlight does get Mike with the OC. Wait, no, that's not OC space. And Bagel gets Soul and Rager just walking down Sunlight. And it looks like DB was falling extremely low by Rager, but not able to get much. Just where Rager left.
That was an amazing Ajax from Mr. Mountain Mike. We just weren't able to hold on with the other things
Whatever
that
is
Imperium had to offer. And Imperium got away with that without using any other ult besides the beat. And as Soul, you know, has their own beat, and Mr. Mountain Mike is kind of close to a tire, this might be a one-fight territory. And with 3 ults coming up here, this is a really scary situation to be in.
That Vendetta will be so lethal if you can get off there.
And I think it's
Looks
about
like
to
they're
come
gonna go
in.
for it here.
Here it comes, the Vendetta ult.
He's coming up.
It drops
gets-
the
Oh,
kill.
it's 2! Wow. And now he's gonna have to stagger touches onto point here. And Bagler's able to get Farron. And Mike is gonna have to eat the touch here.
Swapping on
Talking on,
Orisa, looking to
does
live a
get
little bit.
moved.
Mike falls, and they don't get a touch!
That's gonna be a 3-0 win for Imperium there.
A decisive sweep. Man,
play of the game.
Man,
I can't believe it. Imperium was able to hold on to the fight they held on to, and were able to play them, you know? Especially, you know, early grabs on Surge. We Ajax, and somehow without any other ults, turn the flip. You know, it's very impressive and interesting to see that even when we're down in a fight, Imperium doesn't give up, and they're always pushing and making sure that every fight is winnable, at least a little bit. And when they do, and Aurora, lifts the foot off the gas, gives them a chance to just keep it going.
Yeah. And who would you say would be the MVP for Aurora here, mate? What's your thoughts?
Aurora wasn't, and it was a hard match, and they weren't really given the chance to show their best. But throughout every fight, throughout every instance, throughout every moment, there was always one guy.
There was
got
always
this
one man.
And Mr. Mountain Mike has got to be my MVP on the side of Aurora. It was a tough
With
loss.
no perks.
No perks. It was a tough loss, but he showed that he is capable of doing stuff. Do I wish he'd maybe throw a perk or two into the gameplay? Absolutely. But, he got what he needed to do tonight, and hopefully, going forward that he can have a little bit more luck and the team can do some more good stuff. And with that being stated, who do you give it to on the side of Imperium?
I feel like the one person who was just always consistent, always able to just get that damage done and get so much healing, I'd say DPR.
I mean, I can't disagree. Especially those first two maps, I think DPR was absolutely causing a mayhem on the support role, especially with the ultimates. On the Baptiste, I loved when we were taking off angles, doing crazy damage. Every Suzu and every Kitsune seemed perfect and calculated, and it's really rare to see a flex support who doesn't just die off cooldown.
Yeah, they were really saving those Suzus and just using all their cooldowns. Just amazing. Like, there was always a Suzu for when they needed it. Like, for those pulse bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Just always happened. And looks like here we have Gingerbread for the interview.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Gingerbread.
Hello.
A decisive 3-0 sweep for you guys. And so this is your second win so far. You're 2-0. And you guys won your last game before this in a 3-1. An amazing game as well. So, you're riding the high. What do you guys tell yourself as a team right now? And now when you go back to VC, do you celebrate or do you tell your team, do you keep it humble and do you just keep working at the grindstone and trying to get better?
I mean, a little bit of both. We hype each other up. We rarely focus on our own plays. We focus on what everyone else did well. Mainly, a lot of the praise comes during the game. Or if someone makes a misplay, you wasted an ult, which I do a lot. I int a lot. We don't talk about it. We move past it. It's a very, very positive environment. So out of finishing a game, winning a game, playing a game, it's all the same. We're just all having a good time.
Yeah, it's amazing here, and I always think that is definitely one of the keys to having a successful team is just a team who likes to be there. Mental, do you have any questions?
Yeah. When you went to Havana, you made a lot of swaps. Like, is that just like something you guys always do? Do you like to just swap around your roles all the time? Because we started the game with Bad Girl on support, then the next round they were just playing DPS for the rest of the match. Is that just something you're comfortable with?
Yeah. So we all like to swap roles whenever possible. I mean, I'm the main tank player because it's the only one I'm good at. So I stick on tank. But everyone else likes to swap roles because some people have preferred maps. I don't like playing Havana at all. So I want to say, do not take me there in future, please. But yeah, no, everyone has their preferred maps. I know Dracula, Leo. Didn't want to play DPS on Havana. Went to play tank instead. So we made that swap. Everyone's pretty comfortable on their roles, and everyone has a different strength, and we try to play to that as much as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. Like being able to have fun, swap roles while also still thinking strategically. Because me personally, I always hate when teams just like to give people playtime to give them playtime. But the fact that you guys can give each other playtime while also staying at a competitive advantage is really admirable.
Thank you.
Last question, general question that I have for you is, of course we should be celebrating an amazing 3-0 sweep, and we're going 2 on the tournament. But when you go back to the VC, when you guys VOD review this match that we had, what is something that you personally, as well as you on the team, want to work on? Something that you need to work on yourself, as well as something that maybe the team is, now that we're on this high and we want to keep the ball rolling, maybe push it a little more just so we can steamroll the rest of this competition.
So just for myself personally, I know I have a big problem with inting, especially on Malga. We almost lost first point on Sura because of that, because I just go
It's
in.
so easy to
I
do
turn
it,
off my brain.
brother.
It's the easiest thing to do. You know, Malga, he has a brainless play style, but I need to work on that. I've had coaching on that. But I see a big stomp, I go for it. And you know, it doesn't always go well. The other thing on a more general team level, I'd say, is just ult usage. We're pretty good at tracking ults, but sometimes we press Q and don't communicate that in the moment, because you know, you see an opportunity, press Q, you press Q. If we had a little more restraint, sometimes I think we'd be all right. Most of the time, we're good at backing out of a fight. It's just during the fight we don't communicate what ults we're using right now, because there's not always time. If you have to beat, you beat. But you know, sometimes it can lead to two people ulting at the same time or using too many ults. And I think if we work on that as a team, we'll be a lot stronger.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of fights, you know, where you guys easily had the ult advantage and just use that, you know, to sweep it. And a lot of times where, you know, even your mechanics alone went a long way and you won fights without ulting at all. I mean, look at the last fight of the last map. You guys had 3 ultimates running it at, and there was no chance for that team just simply off of your ult econ alone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, congratulations and congratulations to your team. Is there anything else you'd like to say or shout anyone out before we head on to, you know, the next stuff?
If I had to shout someone out, it'd probably be Bad Girl Forever or Death Reaper. Hell of a player. Honestly, the MVP of the match for me. I just like watching him play, but I it's hard to pick a favorite for my team. They're all great, but
Oh, for
it was
sure.
fun playing against the other team as well. So
Yeah,
shout out to all of them as well.
of course. And thank you so much. And if you have any last thing to say, Mental,
No, good match today. Hope to see more from you all.
congrats.
Right. Thank you for having me,
Of course, thank you.
and thank you for hosting the tournament and streaming the game.
Thank you, Mario.
See you around.
See ya.
See ya. Well,